Hello, statistics students. This is just a short video to test this new app, Screen Record Pro High Definition Recorder, which I downloaded from the Apple Store. So I'm testing it, and this is a very short video to introduce you to just some basic ideas in Mathematica. Okay, let me start Mathematica. This is Mathematica 11. You probably have Mathematica 12. For our purposes, there's really not much difference between the two. Okay, click on New Document. I'm going to make this bigger, expand it to the full screen. Let's see, edit my style sheet. Input, output. Okay, so show fonts. Let's make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to choose 16. 16. And my preference is for Arial. Oh, whoops. That didn't work. My preference is for Arial and bold. And, well, that's okay. That color is fine. Let's do the same thing to the output. 16. Make that 16, and I prefer Arial. Again, that didn't work out too well. Let me see. Arial. There we go. And bold. All right. Play with your settings. Change your settings to whatever you like. Okay. Let's see. 2 plus 2. I wonder what that could be. 4. 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay, so you can use Mathematica like a simple calculator. What if I want to add up many, many 3's? Constant array 3. I want to add up 100 3's. Okay, so I can apply the plus function to the list that I just created. I have a list containing 100 3's. Well, we know the answer is going to be 300. Okay, easy. Okay, so this is a list. This is a Mathematica list. And in statistics, you're going to manipulate lists of data. So let's talk about how to create a list. My list is range from 0 to 90. So this is a list of all the integers from 0 to 90. By the way, all Mathematica commands begin with a capital letter, and therefore user-defined variables should begin with a lowercase letter. Let me repeat that, it's very important. Mathematica commands always begin with a capital letter. User-defined variable names should always begin with a lowercase letter. The Mathematica interpreter does not enforce that rule, but I strongly recommend that 99% of the time when you create a user-defined function or a user-defined variable, you start with a lowercase letter to avoid a conflict with a predefined Mathematica function. Okay? We can use the range command to create lists. We can use table. The table command will do the same thing. I like the letter K, K squared, all the K squared values from 0 to 10. Shift enter. So when K is 0, 0 squared is 0. When K is 1, 1 squared is 1. When k is 2, 2 squared is 4. When k is 5, 5 squared is 25. When k is 9, 9 squared is 81, and so on and so forth. Okay? By default, the step size here is 1. We can alter that. K squared k goes from 0 to 10 in steps of 2. So now k is incremented in steps of 2. Let's save this. Let's save the list that I just created. I'll call it this list. I'm going to use the percent sign. The percent sign refers to the last answer or the last output. Shift enter. This list. There we go. The first command gives me the first element of the list. The rest command gives me everything except the first element of the list. The last command, the last command gives me the last element of the list. The most command gives me everything in the list except the last element of the list. Okay? So I really want you to get used to creating lists, working with lists. Before we end the video, I want to show you one more thing that I think is extremely important. My x values. Let's say these are my x values. And let's say these are my y values. Okay. And I want to create data points. And each data point is going to have an x coordinate taken from this list and a y coordinate taken from this list. How would I do that? Very easy. Points table. Okay, this is how you manually create a list. You use the curly braces. My x values, let's use some letter. We can use the letter I. My y values, use the same letter. I is going to go from 1 to 10 because each list contains 10 values. So now I see I have a list of points. Each point contains an x value and a y value. The x values are taken from this list, which I called my x values. The y values, or the y coordinates, are taken from the list called my y values. I group them together into points using the table command. Now, what if I would like to see a picture of this? What does this look like? List plot points, joined false, plot markers. I'm going to use squares, okay? Filled square, close the bracket, close parentheses. Let's say 20 pixels across. And I would like them to be blue. Okay. So this will become very important later on in the course when we start doing correlation and linear regression and stuff like that, which is, those are really interesting topics, very useful in business, social sciences, biological sciences, and believe it or not, even chemistry and physics. I think that's enough for now. That's a good introduction. Please do your own research. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, unfortunately, we simply cannot meet face-to-face. So I strongly urge you to do your own research. Go to the Wolfram research websites. Look at the tutorial videos. Some of them could be complicated, but I think some of them are pretty basic and pretty introductory. Experiment with Mathematica. Create your own lists. Be inventive. Be creative. Don't just copy what I do, but explore. If you're not sure how to use a function in Mathematica, you can do this. Double question mark, table. Shift enter. And then you can read, just click on the chevron symbol here, and you can read a description of the function. You can look at the details. You can look at examples. You can do a lot of different things here. Be creative. If Mathematica is really impossible for you to use, this is a 6-week course. It's very short. And I realize some of you are simply not going to take to Mathematica. Yes, you can use your calculator, use Excel. If you're familiar with Excel, I'm not a big fan of Excel, but I know a lot of business people love it. Use StatCrunch, which is part of the Pearson website, or it's part of your Pearson course shell. You have options, okay? You have options. Usually, I'm very strict about students learning the basics of Mathematica. However, given the circumstances, given the brevity of this course, and the fact that we already lost a week because of our extended spring vacation, and these are very unusual circumstances that we are dealing with this semester because of the pandemic, all of that having been said, I'm not going to be too strict about enforcing the use of Mathematica. I will say this, however. If you don't use Mathematica at all, you will not be able to open the attachments in my emails. I will regularly, probably 3 or 4 times a week, I will regularly send you emails with Mathematica attachments. If you don't have the software on your computer, you will not be able to open those attachments. Therefore, I really implore you to spend a little time learning the basics of this software. Okay, I think that's enough for now. Let me see if I can turn this off. Okay, let's see. There we go. Have a great day and be well, be healthy, and be safe. Bye-bye.